Look, up in the sky! Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's blatant audience pandering! Let's get her digits. Wonderful attack, wonderful speed, beating out Takumi from New Year's as far as the stats go. Let's see what she swings with. Lethal Carrot. Ha! I told you vegetables would kill me, Mom! Boom! This is the second seasonal dagger that we've gotten to have given dagger users a much needed buff on damage. Specifically, this gives you a Wu Dao effect. A Wu Dagger. A Wu Dagger? In addition to the pop-up damage it also gives you the complimentary -7 to defense and resistance to the target and all of his friends within 2, so that's pretty good. It's what we've been expecting from daggers from now on, ever since the big 2.0 update came out. Also, Glimmer is the special of choice here. You usually want to have a 2-round cooldown on your specials whenever you have a Wu Dao-like effect on your weapon, so this quick charge is really nice. Adding the extra 50% damage onto your hit is wonderful. As far as an A slot goes, this is the introduction of Speed and Resistance Bond, giving you +5 speed and resistance whenever you're standing next to somebody. So this is good because it ensures that we can tank a lot of different mages in the game. Not necessarily all of them, but pretty much all the mages now are something that this Kagero can just stand there and take. In addition to that, the B slot that we have on this particular kit is something that we saw last year. It's Live for Bounty. It's a great, neat little quirky special that lets you get extra badges whenever you go through the training tower. And you know what? It doesn't seem like it's worthwhile, but whenever you're sitting there and you're like, shoot, I need like 50 more blue badges, and Wednesday is quickly ticking by, you're going to enjoy having that special there. Her C slot is Goad Flyers, making sure she shares the love. It's a decent C slot because she needs to be able to ensure that everybody else can still continue to go up and over, and if she hit somebody and debuff them, if she has flyer teammates, she'll be able to go up, basically give these people like an effective +11 to damage, which is really, really nice, and it's very significant. The ratings that you see here are on a scale from A to F, as you would expect from like grade school, with S being practically perfect in that particular circumstance. The aggressor rating is the ability to do one-hit kills, which is actually okay for a base kit from what we've been seeing over the past couple of months, to be quite honest with you. After that, though, Duelist is her ability to be able to fight back and forth for a little while, and then Wall and Deflector is her ability to just take one on the chin for several rounds in a row, from physical and magical damage in that order. Kagero comes with a full kit, but let's talk about a budget option if you want to go ahead and tweak her a little bit. This fixes a couple of problems that we have with her, and I'll discuss them as we go along here. We are going to give her Glacies. I already said that you want to have a short cooldown, not a long cooldown whenever you have a Wu Dao effect weapon. And yes, this does affect who she can initially one-hit kill. But you see that aggressor rating up there? That aggressor rating comes about once you go through the rest of this kit. We're going to go ahead and leave her A slot alone. The B slot we're going to go ahead and put in Desperation, because after all, Live for Honor is not something that actually helps you during fights. So we're going to put in Desperation. She's an okay Desperation user. If she gets a speed boost from somewhere, she turns into a great Desperation user. And we're going to go ahead and leave the C slot alone. What this lets you do is it lets you target a lot of different squishy units. You can go ahead and smack it and kill it, and then you're likely going to have 3 charges come off of Glacies. Then you, hopefully within Desperation range, you go ahead and pick another target, you hit them twice in a row, and you're going to have Glacies go off, and it is wonderful. The kills that you get are amazing. As a matter of fact, without any additional buffs, just doing this, that's what that aggressor rating represents. Her ability to kill things whenever she has Glacies go off as a second hit from Desperation. It's brutal how much damage she could cause underneath this, and that's one of the things that I like to recommend to people, because now you can get 2 guaranteed swings out of Kagero with this kit. The first one's a little bit weak, but she can always take a hit and you can make her move out of the way. You can use that so that you can go ahead and have other units come in and take all the glory, and then if you need her to do a second hit, she can. She has Desperation. She'll likely get both of those swings in on whoever you target, and assuming that she does, she's going to have Glacies go off, and it's going to kill pretty much 75% of the field only 15 or so % of the field is going to be able to actually kill her whenever she does that. The rest actually still bounce off of her, believe it or not. So that is something to really look forward to. If you just want to tweak her out a little bit, this is a great build to go with. Now, I only have one other full build here that I like the numbers behind. There's a few things you could do with her. In my opinion, one better to present to you is if you're going to invest a lot in your Kagero, this is the way you'd want to invest in her. But I have a lot of thoughts on other things, so we're going to do a bit of analysis after I just show you this build. And honestly, this is just a basic kill it build rogue variant. We're going to give her the poison dagger. That helps out a lot. There are some reasons to want to keep the carrot. However, in the DPT, the poison dagger is just much more effective. Against the general population, you can do with the lethal carrot. It is good. It's not necessarily a throwaway. If you don't want to burn a vanilla Kagero for this, you still have some options, but we will talk about those options later. Go ahead and keep Glimmer. You could go with Moonbow if you want, but honestly, she's not going to be targeting anything that has that high of a defense that she can't chew through with a poison dagger anyway. So just keep Glimmer. That'll be just fine. Life and Death is what I recommend. She really needs every point of speed and damage she could get. So that's why I would recommend this over top of Swift Sparrow. The difference in kills is significant. So do this. I know it ruins some of your arena points, and you know what, if you're going that way, you're probably going to just put Swift Sparrow on her regardless, because you already have an uphill battle with her BST. So good luck to you on that. Desperation here, we already talked about the benefits of Desperation. With Life and Death, she's going to have plenty of firepower to be able to just continue them all through. And whatever C slot you want, I left gold flyers on here because it is pretty useful. It's what I usually put on most of my units unless I have a specific intent in mind, so it's a great one to go with. Let's take a look at the obituaries and the DPT Deltran's PvP threats. Link down the doobly-doo to see who's in it. It has been revamped recently, and there were a few mistakes in some of the past ones, and I hope it didn't skew the results too much, but you know, reading's hard. Regardless, I do want to thank Fearless J. He was the one that actually combed through it and told me how much of an idiot I was, and so I fixed it up based upon his proofreading. Notice I made a few tweaks based upon his suggestions, so thank you so much. Link down the doobly-doo to his channel that has different playthroughs of Tempest Trials, Arena Assault. We're at 14 and 18 on Initiation, and let's not talk about it on Enemy Phase. She really is meant to just hone in on something and take it out or cripple it. There's some draws that we have here, but when it comes down to it, she is not much different base kit-wise than any other dagger user you would ever use. She still needs to run up there, and she needs to have some way to protect her so that she could deal damage, do the debuff, and then let your team come on in. It's great running a dagger user in a team, but sometimes you have to really just, if you run a mixed team, or any team really with a dagger user, but usually it ends up being a mixed team, the idea is that they're there to help let somebody do double duty. I mean, you're running in there with all of your heavy hitters, and you're like, oh, well, you know what? This is a solution for 2 people. This is a solution for 2 people. And those units always come at once, and so I can't handle it. Well, that's what a rogue period is for. And so Kagero here does fulfill that role. She could deal a lot of damage, but not against the current meta that is filled with armor units. Once some distance has been put between us and those banners that came out, I am sure that we're going to see something other than armor units, and you know what, that's whenever her lethal carrot is actually going to be a useful upgrade, and actually the poison dagger is going to be just as effective when it comes down to it. But once you have all of these armors on the field, she's not going to be able to chew through them, so you have to be very careful. You have to target ones that don't have distant counter, that don't have vengeful fighter or even quick riposte, because she's not going to take that kind of punishment, as you could sort of see from these ratings here. Now this build, and if you just substitute either the rice ball that New Year Takumi has, or put back on her own lethal carrot, and then you give her the Hone Flyers buff, it's amazing. It is amazing. She does so much damage, she clears so much of the field, and she could start to make headway on some, not all, some of the armor units. You have to still be careful and selective. but she could do it, and as a matter of fact, pretty much any variation of this, even with just like an afterthought of a buff, is going to really carry you through chain challenges, even lunatic ones. It's going to help you get through Tempest trials. She is a PvE monster, and it's wonderful because it does give you that extra umph that you need for the rest of your team as well. Sometimes it stops you from having to take an extra hit, and if your healer died because you used them to chump block or you're dumb in some other way, honestly, a rogue is fantastic to have in those situations. But while there are some creative things that you could do with Kagero, she's just not going to become meta in Arena. So you're not going to see her a lot after this season that she got introduced. She's just a little too frail and doesn't have the right damage type to be able to take out all the heavy armor that's in Arena right now. But that does lead me into the next topics that I want to talk to you about, analyzing a few things. Bad news first. The Wu Dagger, whatever we want to call it, it's great to see and I love it, but you know what, it's not enough to actually make other rogues suddenly more viable. I mean, Soth is great because he already has enough umph and he has a wonderful set of buffs and debuffs that he comes packing with, and so that's why he is so great. New Year's Takumi is not somebody who's really persistent in the meta right now. He can deal a lot of damage, and I run him through Tempest trials all the time. I bring him in chain challenges. I've run him in the rival domains. I mean, he's useful, he's good, but I never field him in PvP straight, and you're just not going to see him on that many teams. The same's going to be true for Kagero. The Wu Dao effect is really nice, just like the slaying weapon, and in some cases it's better, some cases it's not, but I mean, you know, it depends on how you're looking at things, but regardless, it's still not enough to be like, oh, these are the new damage dealers, these are like the replacements to archers, these are the replacements to mages. No, that's not happening. This is not, neither of those weapons are changing how you use rogues, and they're very temperamental to use. You could definitely build some amazing things with Matthew and Seizo so that you can go ahead and tank a lot of stuff, but outside of that, they have a specific niche, and you have to abide by that. Yes, I'm sorry. Then other powerful ones would be like Felicia, but you know what? I can't take anybody who wields a silver plate seriously. Subscribe now so that you'll know who I hate on next. Then we do come back around to talking about buffs on Kagero, and this is the one big advantage she has. She can get easy access to being buffed, not easy access to the buff. I mean, like, home flyers is really hard to get. However, if you happen to have that just laying around your barracks collecting dust, you can have that be applied to her, and it's a beautiful thing. She loves having extra attack. She loves having extra speed. If she could get both, then you know what? That's powerful, and it'll let her clean up so hard. So between the hone, between two goads, between chill defense and chill speed, however you want to slice it, if you can go ahead and provide those buffs to her, she's going to return really hard on you, and it's great. And the nicest thing about this is that she is a flying dagger user, so she'll be able to go exactly where you need her to all the time. That is the absolute best thing about this. It's not even that she has slightly better stats than Takumi. It is that she could go wherever the heck she wants to go, and having exactly the right attack at the right spot outweighs so much. And so if you're excited for her, use her. Put her in your arena teams. I would not put her in defensive teams very often, to be quite frank with you, but as far as running her in arena, go for it. She's going to mop up, and as long as you do give her that little bit of support, things are just going to fall down in bloody heaps of stew. Add some celery and a little bit of water, you're all set. I do so many of their banners make me hungry. So that's the Spring Ninja for you. Let me know what you think about her down in the comments, and do me a favor, if you like your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh, like grandma's cookies, any grandma will do, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you, and until next time, take it easy.